Hello everyone, I hope you had a great time over here. So now let's move to the next session. Steve, NG is the head of developer relations for New Relic Asia Pacific and has worked in the industry for over a decade in various roles. At New Relic, Steve focuses on open source observability, site reliability, engineering, DevOps practices, cloud native architecture, AOps, and developer experience. So please give a big round of applause to Steve and welcome him on the stage.
Countdown starts. Great. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mumbai. How are you? Let's try one more time, huh? Tum, acha, eh? How are you? Bahut acha. There you go. That's how we're going to start. Hi, everybody. My name is Steve. I'm the head of developer relations for New Relic Asia. I know, it's a long day. You've been through so many talks. You probably want to ask the question, can AI kind of help you solve that problem just to make things easier? I am too. I always ask this question. But today, I want to take a moment to talk about and acknowledge what's going on in the industry. Every year, there's always something about AI. I might as well throw ML ops into it because most of you don't get it anyway. So today, what I'm going to do, just to close this session, I'm going to talk about the state of AI ops. AI ops has been around for a long time, especially for us DevOps engineers and SRE engineers. Then after that, I'm going to talk about the evolution of AI, how in 2023, I think this could be a starting moment for us to be very effective in our role. First and foremost, this talk is about how AI can address the complexity of Kubernetes and cloud native. AI ops has been around for a really long time. But there's always three problems that I always see when people adopt AI service. First is most folks, like what you see right here, have a weak understanding how data science is. And therefore, AI cannot help solve that problem. Now I have a problem on that screen. But before you actually adopt any AI-based service, you first must have some understanding how data science works. Because if not, once you adopt some AI service, you're going to have a problem. Secondly, we have another problem again. The second one is service dependency. For folks who attended my workshop just now, we talked extensively about the problem with tracing. And you're going to see this problem too, especially when you adopt AI-based service. Because service dependency, it's really hard. And the third one, arguably the hardest part of all. Do you trust the analysis that the AI service gave you? Based on my experience, most engineers don't trust the analysis what the AI service actually provides you. We know that because I've saw this in our platform too. So therefore, there are three challenges you need to be mindful of. So let's start with the good. Let's take a moment to celebrate and acknowledge what's good right now, what you can use AI for. Right now, like this particular, bahuracha, very good. Anomaly detection for outliers. Right now, the algorithm, the solution, the community discussion, the white paper is quite good, especially if you want to detect anomaly outliers for this that you want to see right there. Configuration of change service. You see this a lot, especially in security products. Suddenly, you have a DDoS attack. It gives you a good analysis. Suddenly, there's certain events you need to be mindful of. We, as an industry, we got better. Metric-based telemetry, especially for infrastructure-based service, we got better. But what about application? Ooh, it's a bit challenging. Infrastructure nodes, database, those are actually possible right now. And also AI is actually quite good in providing you suggestions for known failures. Known failures. In fact, I'm going to talk about a ChatGPT service for Kubernetes. How the recommendation came is because of known failures. And therefore, when you ask what's going on in the spot, it gives you that recommendation because it knows what they need to look for. This is what is good right now in the industry with AI ops and how AI service is going to help you to be an engineer. The second part is a bit tricky. The bad part, which again, having a bit issue. Now, what you see right here is an example of how you can actually build on services right now. AI can help you with that. Now, what you see right here on the left-hand side is anomaly detection that's actually based on Prometheus, Thanos, and you use a third-party library called Prophet. Profits actually come from Facebook where you do forecasting and anomaly detection based on the services that you see right there. Another one that you see here is outlier detection using Grafana and Prometheus.
The only gotcha, that is a paid service. But as an industry, anomaly detection got better, especially for metric-based telemetry. The things that you need to be mindful, not so good for AI right now. Like this particular character, you got to be mindful when you use those services. For AI to work well, you need recurring patterns. If your container dies one day, AI can't learn. You have a problem right there. But also, as mentioned in my workshop, especially for complex distributed tracing environment, AI is going to have a bit of a tough time learn because you need something like a graph database to actually see the interdependency of it. And the worst of all, what if it's a black hole? AI can't tell you that because AI has nothing to learn. So therefore, you need to be mindful of that. But also, the one that is always to be debated is, what about the cost of intelligence? Are you willing to pay for it? Again, for my engineers who attended my workshop, what do I say? Every insight costs money. And you want to reach to a point that you need to ask this question, are you willing to pay? Small environment, not too bad. Large environment, I suggest you want to invest some form of investment into AI ops as a way of giving you insights. The last one, just to wrap it up. I talk about the good, I talk about the bad, but I'll talk a bit more, what do I mean by there? So here's an example of a trace span in Jaeger and visualization in Zipkin. This works very well, and AI can work well if everything is instrumented, because the AI system has the ability to learn and provide, like what I did just now in the workshop, is anomaly detection based on the trace right there. But the trouble comes is, can you instrument every part of the system? Just now in my workshop, a lot of engineers shared that maybe it's not possible. Therefore, you have to be mindful of when you use those services right there. With that, we're going to come to the last part, the ugly. What's the ugly part about AI? I'm sorry to say, we're still not there yet. We don't have the ability to do automated root cause analysis where one of my engineers, Zamir, SSH, make a specific change in the character and destroy the entire cluster. We don't have the ability to do that, because if we do, oh my God, I mean, just imagine, we can spend a lot of time watch cat video. I know, a lot of engineers, this is what you've been looking for. You want something like that, but we're really not there yet. But we're getting there, and we're getting there. And just to end this section, I want to talk about moving 2023, moving forward, what we can expect. The good thing that I like about OpenAI, ChatGPT, Google Bot, what they did in the industry is they democratized AI and make it so accessible to every engineer, including you and I. But also, transformers, the model that you used to build those AI services, got better, got cost efficient. But most importantly, it's widely available. If even someone here talk about LangChain, can you imagine a few years ago, we don't have that. And therefore, 2023, this is our golden moment that you have a choice. It's a good time for you to learn and see how to use AI services right there. I've seen a lot of AI service. I, like myself, I try every AI service I can really get upon. I've seen so much. This is the one I really like for Kubernetes. You actually can go to the GitHub. You can see how they actually do this. But underneath the hood, what they do is use ChatGPT. Based on the community knowledge, when you say, hey, kubectl describe this particular error, what do I need to do? It generates you based on known failures for known remediation. This is actually quite impressive. What it's actually using underneath the hood is using natural language to actually analyze issue in Kubernetes based on the collective community guides that's available right there. This is pretty solid. I recommend, because I tried it out, and I think it's pretty good compared to what I've seen out there. Another one that what we're doing here in New Relic is bringing AI down to the code level. What you see right here is a concept called code level metrics. We're bringing all the analysis that we actually can see from the code level all the way. Here's an example in Java. We all know that Java gives us a lot of problems, but here's an example on Java where we can actually see, hey, based on the particular function or class, we don't have any anomalies. This is normal, this is okay, or maybe a deviation on that. And what you see right here is we announced to the industry called New Relic Grok, where we have an issue again, which AI cannot solve, where actually look at the specific code and tell you, hey, we did notice something that's quite weird in this environment. Again, this is only possible if instrumentation is in the app. We are making towards this, and in the industry, all the stuff that you see right now is actually helping us to actually forward right there. This is actually coming, and this is actually what we're working on too. So just to recap, that person, I watched this movie when I was on my flight from Singapore to Mumbai. He's just a signature move. AI is coming. I don't know what's this, but yeah, he always do that. AI is coming, whether you like it or not. My fellow engineers, you can hate them or hate or love them, but what I suggest is, the good news is AI has been talking for quite a while. But 2023, I think this is a good moment because we start seeing a lot of maturity of different models actually coming into it. But first, my understanding is take some time to understand the good, the bad, and the ugly right there. Okay, so what you want to do is just be mindful that for AI to work well, you need data. No data, black hole. Black hole, AI cannot do anything. That's the reality of it. But the good news is, just to close it up, this particular session is, the cost of intelligence is improving better and better. In fact, for people that pay for ChatGPT, you'll notice the level of intelligence that you get is just crazy compared to what you've seen many, many years ago. Even for us in New Relic, we are also taking all the lessons that we use from users like you, how we're improving our AI ops. We're also improving the intelligence all the way to the code level. Okay? With that, I got a signal. My time is up. My name is Steve. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Thank you.
Spoke some really awesome Hindi at the start. Except that you can ask him questions, I guess. So does anybody have any questions here? Wow. Oh, yeah. Shiva, go ahead.
So since your talk was around AI ops, I think one of the most common questions that people ask me as well, because I work a lot with machine learning, is what's the difference between ML ops and AI ops? So how would you describe the difference between both of them?
Most people don't know. I'll be very honest with you. Most people don't know. But the reality is, I think one of the fundamental difference between is ML ops is you're bringing DevOps concepts into the world of ML models. If you look what ML ops they try to do is you're taking all the application, the training model, and you're applying DevOps principle into it. That's what we call ML ops. AI ops is more like bringing AI services to operational. So you might not know, Gartner actually said this. Many years ago, when big data first came out, there is this theory that said that, hey, why not we bring AI-based techniques to operation? And therefore, actually how it develops the whole industry right there. Now, why I did this talk is because if you go to YouTube or read any article, everyone is saying that ChatGPT is going to replace everything, including all the stuff that we do. And I always I always test every services that claim, hence I want to do this talk. For me, if you notice this talk, I started the premise, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that hopefully that answers the big question on the difference between both. Okay, any questions? Yes. I'll give you the mic. I'll work hard for you.
Thank you. It was very amazing session. So my question is about, you talk about like we are paying ChatGPT and we are getting better and better intelligence. But sometimes it seems that like people are getting less work and they cannot they cannot think by themselves. They always depend on AI. So how to tackle that? Because we have to leverage AI, but at the same time we have to grow ourselves also, because we don't have to depend on like that, and so that we can forget working ourselves. So how to solve that issue, or like how to tackle that as a developer?
So I don't understand your question. So your question is, how do we use AI? Is that right? Or what? I don't understand that question. Can you repeat?
My point is, like you mentioned about all the things, like how AI will improve and it will continue to improve. AI will not jukega nahi sala. So that point was like mind-stroking. But my question is, AI will improving, but what about developers? Like I have seen many of my friends that they are only depending on AI. They are searching everything on ChatGPT, but they are not understanding. So how to like mindset? What was the mindset particular?
So, so let me just rephrase that question. So the question is asked, okay, ChatGPT is very powerful, but as developers, how do we learn properly, correct? Without using stuff, something like this. I think it's more of an ethic questions. Like if you ask any good engineering managers or leaders, we will, like for me, my team, I always advise, don't use ChatGPT to learn first. You need to learn the basic fundamentals. But it's going to come. There's actually quite a lot of good amount of resources available outside where you use ChatGPT as a way of being what I call a mentor to actually answer questions like that. Khan Academy is a good example. Khan Academy has an AI. You interact with the AI to learn about a specific subject right there. All good? Okay, that's my cue. Thank you so much.
Sorry. And that's the second time I think I have tripped Steve here. The first time was over coffee. But yeah, I think we're all aware why we are sitting here. And I am not going to, go into the speech about why we're all sitting here, because it's clearly obvious you are all excited about the special performer. And I'm not going to, keep you all waiting. And we will bring him on stage shortly if he is going to come.